So today I'll be meal prepping for the upcoming week. I'm currently working 4 days per week, Monday through Thursday, 11-hour shifts each day, and my commute to work is over 30 minutes each way. So I'm not home very much, so I have to be especially efficient, and I can't be spending a bunch of time cooking because I'm not going to be home long enough to do that. So I'm going to prepare a few different meals that I can eat throughout the week, and I want to show you what I'll be making this week. So to start, I'm going to be cooking a big batch of chicken. I want to make a Costco chicken bake mix that I've made before on this channel. And this week I decided I want to be lazy, so I'm going to use a crock pot to cook all the chicken. Alright, so I put the chicken in the crock pot, and for this recipe I used about 6 breasts, but you don't need to use that much. I probably won't even use that much. I might freeze some for later. You can season it with whatever you like. I'm going to use this ranch seasoning here because I think it'll complement the chicken bake recipe pretty well. And then I'll also use a little bit of salt, pepper, and garlic, just enough to coat the chicken, and then I'm going to mix it all together before I start the crock pot. I'm going to set it on probably high heat for about 3 hours. If you have more time, you can set it on a low heat for maybe 4 to 6 hours. The seasoning for these chicken breasts doesn't matter too much because most of the flavor is going to come from the light Caesar dressing that I use. Alright, so the chicken's fully seasoned. Now I'm setting the crock pot on high for 3 hours, and then once it's all done cooking, I will shred it, add the Caesar dressing, and I also have green onions to go with it, as well as mozzarella cheese. As the chicken is cooking, I'm going to start preparing my other protein, and I'll be making a burger bowl using 93% lean ground turkey, and then I'll be chopping up some romaine lettuce, some potatoes to serve on the side, as well as an onion. As the pan for the ground turkey heats up, I'm gonna start cutting the onion. Onions are chopped. Now it's time to add them to the preheated pan on a medium-high heat. I'll let these cook before I add in the seasoned ground turkey. Added in the ground turkey, now I'm going to season it. And this is about 1.7 pounds of ground turkey. That's just because that's what these Costco packets are sold in. I originally thought it was a 1-pound bag, but for some reason it's a little larger. So I'm just using pepper, garlic powder, salt, and onion powder. And as the meat browns, I'm going to start preparing the potatoes. Alright, so now I'll just chop up the potatoes. You can cut them into whatever size you like. I'll probably do little chunks so they cook faster in the air fryer. You can also cook them in the oven. So the potatoes have been chopped. Now I'm just going to add them all to this bowl. Spray them with a little canola oil spray and then season them before I put them in the air fryer. Where I'm staying doesn't have an oven, so I was forced to buy an air fryer, but if you don't have an air fryer, just try an oven. It'll do the same thing, just may not get as crispy. And to season it, I'm going to use salt, pepper, and a little bit of paprika for some color. Fit about half the bowl on this tray, so I'm going to cook it in the air fryer at about 400 degrees for 20 minutes, and then I'll check on it to see if it's fully cooked. So the ground turkey is almost done cooking, and a couple of things I like to add to make it more burger-like in taste is a little bit of pickle juice, just a splash, as well as some mustard. And this helps it stay moist as well, while also adding some flavor. I just eyeball it, and then I mix it around. And let that cook for maybe 5 more minutes to let those flavors marinate. As the potatoes cook, I'm going to just chop up some lettuce for my burger bowl. Green onions are chopped. I did about half the bushel. I'll save these for later. The chicken is done cooking in the crock pot. Now I'm just going to drain some of the liquid before I shred it all. And then I'll shred the chicken in there and then add the sauce with the green onions and mozzarella cheese. So I ended up cooking about 4 pounds of chicken, and I normally for this recipe only use 2 pounds, so I removed about 2 pounds of chicken to use for later. Maybe I'll use it in another dish. So in here I got 2 pounds of chicken, and I'm gonna add in about 120 grams of this Bolthouse Farms Caesar dressing. It's about 50 calories per serving of 30 grams. After that's all added, I'll then add in mozzarella cheese and the green onions that I had. For the mozzarella cheese, it's about 56 grams worth. And the green onions is half a bushel that I chopped up. And now I give it a mix around until it's well combined. That's the final product. Now I'm just gonna cover it up and let it sit there for about 5 to 10 minutes as everything else finishes cooking. Here's what the potatoes look like after they're done cooking. All right, everything's done cooking. Now it's just time to assemble the bowls that I'll be eating throughout the week for lunch and dinner. All right, so that's how I get meal prep for the week. I have 4 containers here of my chicken bake, and I'm gonna eat the chicken bake for my lunches with these carb counter wraps. They're pretty low in calories. There's 60 calories with 12 grams of fiber, so they'll keep me full throughout the day, and I like them because they're quick, easy, and convenient for work. And then for dinner, I'll be having these burger bowls. I have 3 prepared for later this week, and then I'm gonna be eating 1 right now. And then for other days where I don't have dinner prepared, I have these real good chicken strips, which have incredible macros, 120 calories for a 4-ounce serving with 21 grams of protein. And if I'm really feeling lazy after I get off work, I can also try some of these steak fries. Steak fries are the worst out of all the fries, if I have to admit it, but they have the best macros. It's 90 calories per serving, only 2 grams of fat. So steak fries are the worst tasting because they have the least amount of fat out of any other fry that you can get pre-packaged. And then in the future, if I didn't want to cut up all those potatoes for my burger bowl, I would have used something like these diced potatoes O'Brien. No extra fat added to these pre-packaged meals or pre-packaged potatoes. So they're another great option. But today I had 3 potatoes laying around, and rather than let them go bad, I wanted to use them in my dinner and my meal prep for the week. Almost forgot to include what I eat for breakfast during the week. So for a quick protein option, I like to use Greek yogurt, and my favorite is this vanilla flavored Oikos 000 Greek yogurt. And I mix that with some PB2 powder, and I crush some graham crackers on top. I like eating it that way. And for another quick protein source, I'll have a protein bar, maybe this Nature Valley protein bar, or because these are on sale at Costco, I got these pure protein bars that are pretty good. And if I don't want a protein bar and I have a little more time, I'll prepare these rice cakes with some PB2 spread on top. And I have 3 different flavors. I have the plain, the caramel, and the chocolate rice cake flavor. On the plain one, I put sugar-free Jell-O on top. On the caramel one, I put low-fat Cool Whip on top, and then I have some chocolate chips on the chocolate one. So hopefully that gives you some ideas of quick breakfast options that are higher in protein that you can include in your diet as well. Hopefully this helps you in the future plan ahead so you can have healthy meals prepared throughout the week, even if you're busy and you can't have time to cook. And I'll put the macros on the screen for each meal I prepared. If you give it a try, let me know what you think.